We all being me now. All right. We back. Get back in with the boys. Now I have a question. Now we get easy into the Ease Up podcast a little bit, right? Got a little question I'd like to bring to you. So everybody back in the day, we had our little era. Back then to say and we used to go to the mall, and when the movies in the mall, everybody park up there, put on their good clothes, put their jeans on. Everybody put their little Vans and their Aero on.
But you going on dates to the movies? Everything happening.
Everything happening. So around that time, this
to be the spot.
This the part I gonna get a little juicy too. Everybody being so it's a vibe everybody can relate to. TM Techno or TMG Shock?
But I wanted a G-Shock, but I had a Techno dread.
So you wanted the Techno.
I wanted the G-Shock, but I ended up with Techno. So
everybody wanted that Techno, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
But I didn't like them.
Yeah, but change bond and then.
But that's what it was for me, you see. For real, but just like switching out bond, switching out clothes, marching up and then but for sure.
Mm-hmm. Cause see with G-Shocks, I was more of the G-Shock, like that was the G-Shock baby G person.
I had a baby G too, you see. Yeah, dog.
But I always used to realize like you say, but technos you could like switch the bonds out, different things like that. G-Shock, you had to like get like a couple if you wanted to be fresh, just to like try like mix and match or like do different things.
Yeah.
So you want
they gotta switch on too, but people.
Wait, which one?
It's difficult. It's more.
Which one there was? Where niggas, the dog was peeing on the vibe. That was G-Shock.
I think that was G-Shocks. That was G-Shocks. They used to have like the little button and the little animations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real, dog.
Yeah, baby.
So we got a G-Shock behind y'all, but I ain't gonna lie. I remember back in the day, you have the Techno one, you move to the right, through the wrong alley.
Bond pop.
But you see, dog, I wasn't never like that, like I never used to move where I ain't supposed to be, dog. See what they saying? So I just used to always be on my own run too, and I always, couple up. See what they saying?
Exactly. But I'd like to take this time to, just officially welcome everybody to the Ease Up Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Evans. We got Kellin over here. And with the one and only Mr. Go-Getter himself.
The mayor, the bomber.
All right. Then.
Hey, I from Nassau, man. Don't mix me up, boy.
Yo, it's a real vibe in Johnson Way City, dog. You know?
The wall effect when you perfect out of war. Do you even care to feel that only time you reveal? Ease up and stay strong. Focus on love and not on war. Do you even know who are you effect when you perfect out of war? Do you even care to feel that only time will reveal? Ease up and stay strong. Focus on love and not on war.
Alright, so I want to start a little bit from inception, not really from the very beginning, but as far as you could remember from your entrepreneurial side of what was your very first business idea? Because I sure it probably wasn't this.
Believe it or not, this was my first one. I did think it was initially, one where I had like a co-worker.
Mm-hmm.
He really started to get me thinking entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm.
And we was thinking of actually doing like a mobile laundry service.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And but I was always kind of against it a little bit just because I know people personal with their clothes. Mm-hmm. And if something go missing, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, then I started talking about, I thought about this one by myself. And even before I moved to Freeport, I was going to just do it out west. Live in Okolabo.
So this was around 2018?
No, but this is around 2015.
2015?
Yeah, but this is 20, just before I moved. Mm-hmm. I had already do up a whole business plan. I wanted the website, all of that. And I just, I ended up moving. when I was could do it in Freeport when they first moved there, like 2015, but I ended up getting a job. But and I just like this just was sitting on my like what it is, Microsoft Office, like OneNote.
Right.
Cause that's where a lot of my business ideas is, because it's like a digital book.
So you jot down most of your business ideas. So
Yeah, but I have like so much different business ideas in that book. But like
Write it down.
I just had it like on the back burner for years, babe. For years. I don't even know. I came across some motivational content like 2015, maybe like 2017, 18.
Online, or this was like a.
This is like YouTube, babe. Like some
YouTube.
yeah, babe. I don't even know how it even pop up, but like it just came up, and I always used to like do events too, like before I move Freeport. So I was like, all right, let me start doing one little bar situation. I started doing a little bar, like when they was doing concerts in Gombe Park. And that's when I really realized, like when I was taking inventory of balls, I was like, damn, like I really gotta do all this by myself. And like, I just was like, all right, just must see what hard work is. So I just, start doing it. After a while, I don't know, I ended up stopping for a little bit. Then I just remember my delivery idea. That's when I started really, like I say, I had got a job and forgot about it. But I started using like my money from work. I started saying, like, who could do my website? That's when I started getting serious about it.
Okay. So how would you say, like business and like during your time at Freeport, what would you say like the business scene is like having to like run a business over there? Like what are like some of the, I guess you could say, perks, and then what are some of the difficulties that comes with it?
Well, firstly, like what was so different about Go Gettas was no one was really doing it yet. In 2018, I think it was one business here was doing it, but no one was like, they had it in Freeport, but someone was like, oh, it always start and stop. So it was kind of unique in a way, because it wasn't an app or a website. I don't know, they must use just doing phone calls. But the business climate over there is like, the economy kind of, it ain't as good as Nassau, of course, being the capital. But like people over there be like, oh, if you could run a business in Freeport, you could do it anywhere. I guess where it's so hard. But the benefit of like, with the Port Authority and getting a business license there is the bond. So the bond basically is let you bring in things duty free if you use a business.
Okay, because I do know a little bit about when it comes to starting businesses over there, that most, not say most, in general, everyone have to basically go to Port Authority, right? When it comes to starting a business.
In Freeport.
Yeah. Okay, but I just didn't know like what were some of the like you say like the duty free. I didn't know like what were some of like the perks that you get with going through the process of going through Port
The
Authority.
bond. Yeah.
Okay.
But along with that, like they have like different, when I first gone there, they have like things on the shelf. It'd be like duty paid price and bonded price. And a bonded price always cheaper, but you need a bond.
Okay.
So if you got a bond, life a little cheaper over there. And even the gas, the gas is what I love about it. Yes, boy, dog. I tell you, boy, dog. That gas like $2 less, boy.
Sheesh.
Boy, so if this go up to $8, boy.
Boy, dog.
I can call baby, all right?
Yeah.
Boy. But you can't get it unless you got a bond and you got to register with the business. So you have to do, a couple steps to get it.
You think a process like that could work in Nassau?
Wait, for Nassau, I don't see why not. You just have to police it, right? Because I think what they're doing a lot is just bringing in duty things, dog. Like if they could just do away with that, I feel like it could build up the people who have businesses.
Okay.
Bring in things at a cheaper price.
Okay.
Don't have to charge as much because the duty lower.
Right. You're right.
Overall, they can help the economy.
Yeah.
Right.
from the top to the bottom. That help
People can bring in more for their businesses. So now you're doing more for your business because you have a little bit of extra cash to bring in maybe a little bit more inventory than you needed.
For sure.
Help the manufacturers and the consumers, man.
Yeah,
Everybody for that.
Yeah.
So for y'all, all your government people who watching this, write that down. You know?
But I telling you, better killing your dog.
Before I move on, what I really take from what you did say earlier, one of the things I really mentally noted was the fact that you had the idea. You actually had a less refined version of the idea, but you didn't really get to act on it until you notice the need for it. Until you notice it was a something that people actually needed.
See, dog, even in Nassau, 2015, delivery, like, no one was doing it.
Right.
But I used to go to Miami, like, back then, and, like, that's when Uber, like, started to be coming up. Even flicking, like, DoorDash and thing wasn't even, like, really pumping yet in the States, dog. But, like, that was just my one idea I thought about. I really had no, like, other ideas, like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. In terms of, like, initially starting, I just gone with that. Because it seems smart. Everybody need delivery, dog.
Everybody need it. That's what I seriously take from that right there. Because most business-minded people who I speak to, they will tell you find a niche. More so, your average person would tell you do what you love. But I find more business-minded people would say find what people need, try to do something towards that. And I feel like it worked. It had to work. It just worked out haphazardly perfect for you because it was an idea you had before and it filled the needs. But what I really took from it, like I say, was you filled in that gap where you see this was essential for people. You was stuck there saying, man, I by myself.
Yeah.
I need. It would be good if I had somebody to help me.
Yeah, baby.
Go and fix that. So I will take it a little bit more back. Little rewind it a little bit. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your business. Tell us about, the ins and outs and exactly who you is and where you come from.
Well, I Zingy. My birthday just turned 29 last week. Flicking. Ain't nothing much to me, dog. Like, I move around a lot when I was small. Switched islands. I used to live in Abaco. So I didn't live on 3 islands in the country.
Yeah, diving up and down for true from time.
Yeah. So, like, I laid back. I really, like, find myself in terms of what I wanted to do until I was, like, mid-20s or so. But, the 20s, I feel like if you go waste any years, just let it be couple of your 20s.
Not the whole thing, but just couple. Just couple, boy. Just couple.
Real dog,
You gotta try.
And that's what people gotta understand too. You can't always hold yourself to a sharp knife.
Yeah.
Like lifelong, man. And even if it ends tomorrow, you want to make sure that you want to keep the thought that, hey,
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Can't be miserable like that all tied up all the time. Dog.
So tell us a little bit about Go Gettas, the business, and what you do and different things like that.
But Go Gettas delivery. Like I say, I started taking it serious in about 2018. I got the website and when you start in a business, like, don't think everything can go perfect, dog.
No.
Because, like, I didn't pay niggas to do the website initially. Niggas ain't come through. That was maybe a couple $100. Freaking find someone else, they do it. See what I saying? Keep going. Couple instances I thought I wasn't even freaking be able to get the business license. But I get it. And then, like, a lot of people, like, they don't understand. You ain't have to start big all the time, but
No.
like, I think a lot to be said for starting small in terms of, like, just like, you ain't have no bunch of overhead. It ain't as much pressure. You could, make the mistakes and go and just, keep improving and stuff like that. But Go Gettas, like, we simple business, model delivery. I with the app and the website. I was looking to use a local web designer, but like I say, different things happen, and I end up going with a foreign designer.
Okay.
So
And it still work out. So
yeah, But we've been like doing deliveries from like 2019.
Nice.
And once I got more serious with the business in 2018, I started looking at like how to make it a legal entity, stuff like that. That's what I started doing that first, and then I started, with just introducing the service and stuff like that.
So you started off before you really got everything done with the business
Website,
license and the website and all that. You done was in the groove, starting it off from the floor.
No. I didn't start before I got the license at all.
Okay.
I actually got the license first, and then I, started making orders and stuff like that.
Okay.
But before that, I still seek, counsel from like different people. Someone referred me to someone who had a delivery business before I go on to them. So it's just trying to nitpick and then form my own, conclusion or the information I get.
So,
Do your homework and start properly.
You really started to like doing mail delivery. Like 2019 is when he was like really, really out there doing deliveries. So, and then we know like shortly after that was the pandemic. So, how did that really affect it? Like, did it? Because I know some people the pandemic hit and their business actually like grew. Some people it got a little bit rougher. So, how was it for you? Because it's delivery, so it's like
I mean, once the pandemic hit, like it really improved things for me.
Okay.
It was almost like
Because people couldn't go for their things.
Yeah, wait. And like I won't lie, the pandemic like it really changed perspective on a lot of things for a lot of people. But the important thing, especially in business or in life, is like knowing when and how to pivot.
Yeah, facts.
Boy, my boy over here dropping gems, boy.
Oh man,
We need a gem counter on this one.
That's real dog.
Oh, it's fit these
People
guys.
always things changing.
Could actually change your life.
Yeah, dog. So much things just be changing all the time.
You gotta know how to change with it.
Yeah.
Unconscious, they say.
So before we move into our little break, any small tips you'd give to young budding entrepreneurs who, like you say from earlier, it ain't easy. It could be times when you can mess up. Like you say, the way you express, the way you even say, but I finally get my business license. That alone speak on the fact that it wasn't on your first try you get it. Like speak on little tips you could give to people, even if it's just endure a little hard or don't give up or.
But well, I think what most important is like there's a lot of noise on the outside, right? So you gotta like you gotta be in your own bubble, honestly, right? Like I ain't saying be cut off, but in terms of just like negative, naysayers and stuff like that.
Right.
You just want try to, remember and keep in the front of your brain like what you're trying to do. People can be, even your parents can tell you like, wait, you might need to rethink this, or like, so it can be doubters, but dog, you know what you want. You know what you're trying to get. So it's like only you can basically take you where you want to go.
Okay.
So just, you, and I like seeing young entrepreneurs, like they like seeds to me, dog. Like, so like if you just see it, you want put fertile, the right kind of fertile, you can't be on the wrong kind of things.
Right.
So they saying, so you need that important. Even if like it's just you, way. Like you want to tailor your environment to your success to help you, dog. See what they saying? And like a lot of times, because a lot of people like they ain't doing something they love, right? So their perspective ain't be what you want to get to grow your mindset.
Right.
So you want to try to find like-minded people, stuff like that.
Gems, boy. Gems, boy. Boy, you coming back to y'all with some more of them, boy. We probably could throw that gem counter down there for y'all for sure, boy. Y'all can do that. Okay. We back.
Need peace of mind that comes in the form of around-the-clock surveillance? Trust our technicians here at Create Tech Bahamas to give you the vision you need to sleep soundly. Create Tech Bahamas, bringing tomorrow's technology to your doorsteps today.
Boys are back. We back. Getting this convo started. So, what I really wanted to start was the place we in right now, the atmosphere, the environment we in, we have a lot of young professionals that even if you have a 9 to 5 grind or you have a steady day job, you still look on having something on the side where you could say I own this. And it's we know from our perspective why that's what we attaining to do.
Yeah.
Because of our end goals. We know to be able to sustain a family, to be able to buy property, to be able to own and invest. It's almost impossible to do from the traditional retire and at one job for 60 years or 40 for 40 30 years. And
That is a very, very well paying 9 to 5.
so let's just speak a little bit on that, on the difference in what yesteryear had to deal with right now, as far as our goals being different from trying to get a occupation to trying to be a young professional to try and get your own niche and make something else happen for you. Let's chat up on that.
Well, first, in regard to like, I don't think a lot of people believe in like or like think in terms of ownership. Like, actually, owning, property or land, being able to like hand it down and stuff. Like, I feel like if someone had told me, my first investment probably would have been like land. Like if someone had really sit down and talk to me, but see, like, you have to like basically be taught about like economics and then like business and stuff like that.
It should be a class in school, but we just have to learn it growing up.
Yeah, then I ain't never take it because I didn't know what economics was. I was like, babe, yeah, put me in something else. And like, it ain't like everybody don't have to do it. So I might have been been to business if I had to take it from like in high school, but like apart from that, the price of everything going up. So like, of course, having like a side hustle, very important.
It's almost
if the
mandatory.
wages ain't going up. So it's like, of course, baby. And I think with that, when you're doing something like that, you want love it, but also like try to make something from it. Especially if you like to do it. But then a lot of times you might just like it for making money. So. Yeah. But I mean, so it's like having a balance to like, how much, you want to give to something, if you really believe in it and stuff like that. So I think economically having a, side business or a side hustle really important. Especially if you like married or have kids, like a lot of times those are instances for like security, especially if you have a kid and wife. So they want to feel secure. And you want to just always try to be like self-sustaining, because my last job, they basically because of the Hurricane Dorian when I was in Freeport, I stopped working, and after that I just put everything I had into my business, Go Gettas, and since then I basically been getting customers. So I just was like, why stop if it's working? You just tailor it as you go. Some things don't work out. You have to pivot.
And it's interesting because the times that we in, like I was saying, is almost sort of mandatory, I guess, in a way, to do something on the side. I mean, and I feel conflicted on it a lot of times because I sometimes have this thought that life shouldn't have to be that way where you have to be doing so much just to get by. But then when you just look realistically at the times that we in here, just in the Bahamas and in general, it's like, wait, what can you do? Because you could get a job and you could work up in your job and like get promotions and raises and different things like that. But at the same time, life's still progressing. You still want to do different things in life. If you're in a relationship, you're looking at getting married, and then now you're looking at children, and that comes at a whole different hourly of expenses. So it's like, what do you do? Especially when it isn't like we known over here for paying everybody such crazy salaries, and then like everybody's just making a bunch of crazy salaries. Like you'll be shocked if you was to have a random conversation with somebody on the side of the road and they telling you, oh yeah, at my job I making more than $60,000 a year.
What?
You'd be shocked. so it's like, but that's just the times that we in, and I feel like the older generation they get it in a way because there are some older people who have multiple businesses, so they understand what it is to, have to be able to do more than one thing. But I feel where the disconnect probably lies is because like 20 is for us and 20 is for them.
Totally different.
It's
Totally different. They was having.
Wait, some of them is
family.
married.
Exactly.
21 and then
Exactly.
See, we touch on it a little bit in the last pod we had, where I saw a graph. A lady actually did the math, and she in her mid 50s. When she was 20, what property was then? The same property what she bought. I think she bought it at like $34,000, something like that. And she measured it to what inflation should have had it at. The actual price of what it's at now was double what inflation should have had it at.
Exactly.
And the only reason for it was because the market has formed around the greed of proprietors, of the people who own because they control the market. They could say, if you don't pay this, then I could just get somebody else to come in. So it evolved into what the problem we have now. Like, that's why it was so affordable for people who, when they come out of high school, they say, come out of high school 15 and thing. Like, when they come out of high school, they might do college. And when they come back, they have property waiting for them.
Exactly.
Like, it almost is automatic. You work for 5-6 years, you could actually put down on a piece of property. Now you work for 5-6 years, like, right? If you actually like living and partying every once in a while, like, and you could be able to invest in a car.
Yeah.
Like,
and the thing is, and it's so crazy because it's like you don't want to rob yourself of certain like experiences in life because I've had many conversations that people who's be like, oh yeah, like they're saying like for a certain like for like about 7 to 8 years, I ain't take a single trip, I ain't do nothing, and I understand like where they coming from in that in those 7-8 years of them not traveling and not doing this, they were able to build themselves up to a position where now they could basically like, do it whenever they want. So like I get that, but I guess where I get conflicted with it is because I feel like in that you still robbing yourself of some experiences during those years. Yeah, later on in life you can have other experiences that you're gonna like go through that you could probably say made up for the years you missed, but you can't honestly say they made up for the years you missed because you ain't experienced it to compare the two.
Right.
So it's like,
you say you got a couple of the 20s.
Exactly. And just the conversations that we have on like with my parents all the time, because I be trying to get them to understand, like, listen, like 20 is for y'all and 20 is for us is like two different they always talking about the different things they trying to do and like how if we trying to go about different things.
The math ain't mathin', babe. Like,
and in their head, it's bonkers. It's like they're like, I don't understand like how and I'm not trying to I ain't trying to get you to understand like
the math ain't
if you was my age now, you would see why this is like the route. But
things worse now, dog. Like
exactly.
It's crazy because if honestly, but like if it did work out properly, the minimum wage was we making like 5 something, like so to be able to afford our life going on right now. But it's not that way. Minimum wage ain't rise so much.
I think what minimum
and
wage
that
now?
effect, I think it's still like between
250 or something like that.
So it's somewhere in between there.
I think it's 250
and that ultimately affect the whole range of everything. So if the bottom ain't moving, the threshold ain't gonna go nowhere. But things getting more expensive. So you gotta find a way. And we the way I feel like our generation moving is to have your side hustle and eventually either turn that into your main thing or to go straight full force at that.
I feel like all kind of things happening, and we just like, for example, like COVID, another war, and like prices just on top.
Skyrocketing.
Keep going up.
Skyrocketing. It's a scary time,
The
but
gas is that's what it is for me.
I praying, but I praying enough
I
to make that call.
can imagine seeing, especially for what your business does.
Bro.
I know gas.
Yeah.
Well, I pray now I gotta make that call here one day. Have to check up on you, bro.
Hey,
I see that thing going to 10.56, but you good? Good. These startups all over the place, they got one there. And a lot of people, they don't know which route to take. Some people, they iffy over here, they iffy over there. It's good to have a some sort of graph to say, okay, this what I could work with. This would make more sense than
like you gotta track your progress so you can know what's happening. You see, so that's important to analyze that data and
Document and plan.
So I mean, because if you don't know, then it's like, you know, can't really project nothing. But for the most part, I think, like, in terms of business, that's like the key component, like trying to understand what works and what don't work. They just have to be decisive too, because I used to be indecisive. I still kind of indecisive, but like in business, I decisive.
Okay.
So, like, important, if it don't work, just try something else and just hurry make the mistake. That's all it is, really. Because as long as you're alive, but you can do other things, dog. So, you can't really never say, like, of course, it's different factors for different people, you know, in terms of socioeconomic class, like the opportunities they have or don't have, how they grow up, you know.
Yeah, different things available to them.
Okay.
Yeah. That's almost like a whole different thing when you start talking about the socioeconomic classes.
Maybe my boy is probably right there. You say, my boy is spitting gems, but my boy, my boy is spitting them out, boy. We here for that, boy. We here for that.
Yeah. But like, you know, initially when I was first getting into entrepreneurship, like, hard was, you know, like, some people believe in it, and then some people believe like not everybody presented with the opportunity of the finance. That is true. I won't lie. Like if you don't have the opportunity, then compared to someone else, something like, I guess you could kind of even throw in nepotism, where like it's favorites. Even if you have the qualifications, it's still favorites.
Right.
So it's like it's a weird balance there, but in terms of, you know, because, you know, people just be like, you can't something out of poverty. Like I can't even remember the phrase.
Can't cheat your way out of poverty.
Like you can't build a way for yourself.
Okay.
Basically, kind of. But, you know, I feel like
people just do it though.
Yeah, people just do it. It's a lot of examples, because it's like people who come out of the ghetto, you know, have businesses, successful, stuff like that, dog. So
it's your work ethic most of the times. How far you want to take it. With opportunity, like you say, when you see opportunities, take it. Look out for those opportunities and prepare yourself to jump on it or to latch on it when it's there. And that's what most times it is. Preparing yourself.
Always understand that no matter what it is you're about to do, you're taking a risk.
That's just it's a risk every day.
It's a risk every day.
You can die, right?
Every day,
every day, but
you working towards something.
Yeah,
and like you say, you want to be decisive. You want to be decisive, and that's what I gonna take from this for sure. At the end of the way, you working on my decisiveness, because I know it's at times I feel like I weigh one option to the other a lot too much. I might say, okay, this might work, but this, or that might work, but that.
Sometimes you gotta make it work too, though. So it's like different, dog. One side is like a positive thing, though. Like you could have to make it work. Like some decisions, everything, it ain't gonna go how you want it. But sometimes
That's where the
just gotta
pivot
make it
come in.
happen.
So yeah, my boy. I if I could put a number out there, I'd say about 27. I'd say about 27, 30 gems, my boy, done throw at us. And this would be run with, man. So appreciate you for passing through, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Really, really appreciate it, man.
When you perfect,